Danny Field! Come on, Danny.
What's happening? Thank you. When I was a kid, I used to love Austin Powers, man. That was like my favourite film. It was a little bit problematic though, because I didn't know what the word shag meant. My dad picked me up from the school playground once, and I was like, "Wait, Dad, should we shag now or should we shag later?" And he was like, "Shh, later." Teacher just watched on like, groovy, baby. Me and my family, mate, we were a little bit all over the place, right? Like when I was 16, I'd done my GCSEs, and they weren't good. Yeah, in English I got an F, and my parents were fuming. My mum was like, "Danny, do you even know what an F stands for?" My dad was like, "I'll tell you what it stands for, son. It stands for Fick." I was like, "Dad, it's clearly phenomenal." But in fairness to my dad, I am thick. I can't lie. When I took my girlfriend out for our first date, right, I took her to this restaurant and I was trying to impress her. We went to this fancy restaurant, we had food and drink and it was all good. I was having a good time. Then got to paying for the bill and we got into a tug of war over who could pay for the bill. So my girlfriend was like, "Look, I've had an amazing time tonight, it's been great, I really want to get the bill." And I was like, "No problem." Told you, thick. But I recently moved into a new flat with my missus and we've moved to this posh area and I was walking through my new local park and I noticed all the dogs where I live now are like stereotypically cute dogs, like Dachshunds and Poodles. But the dogs on my old estate, they was proper council estate dogs. There's one dog on my old estate, part Rottweiler, part scaffolder. You know, he won't bark at you, just give you a free quote. But I'm working class, grew up on a council estate, I'm also Catholic, spent a lot of my childhood at church. Right, and I was always getting in trouble at church, always getting in trouble in mass. I had a very short attention span. And my mum once, she turned around in the middle of mass and she went, "Danny, if you don't behave yourself, when we get outside, I'm going to give you a fucking hiding." And I was in shock, because that was the first time my mum had ever swore at me or threatened me in the house of God. And then she turned around, put her hands together, looked up and went, "If you look at me like that, you'll fucking get one and all." But I had to go to the hospital recently for a checkup because a few years ago I was diagnosed with testicular cancer. And to get rid of it, the doctors had to remove one of my testicles. But unfortunately it didn't go as planned, and I did in fact tragically die. It's what I've told HMRC. Anyone that knew by the name Sugar Daddy 321. But I get questions about my testicle. I've had someone ask me what's it like to have sex with one ball. And it's fine, completely normal. I just prefer having sex with vaginas. Someone else asked me, "Now you've only got one left, which way does it lean? To the left or to the right?" And it leans to the left. But I think that's just because it appreciates public health care. A little bit of politics for you. Straight from me ballsack. Third question I get the most. Since I lost my testicle, have I lost any testosterone? And normally when people ask me this one, they're trying to mug me off and take the piss out of me in front of their friends. Someone asked me in a pub and I went, "Oh, why don't you just fuck off?" But I had questions as well about my testicle. I was worried about having kids. My girlfriend was really worried. My mum was worried. So I went to the doctor. The doctor said, "Look, Dan, with one testicle, there'll be no problems with you having children." I was like, "That's the fucking problem. Chop it off." I had to get checked out for a lot of blood tests when I had cancer. And the first one I went to was terrifying because that was to find out if I had cancer. And I went in, I'm waiting for the results, doctor comes back, and I thought, lighten the mood a bit with a joke. I went, "Here, doc, what does it say that I'm sick as fuck?" He's like, "In a manner of speaking, yes." But, as well as having cancer, I'm also asthmatic and I'm half deaf. So I'm basically just a list of things that don't work properly. Like when most babies are born, the doctor says, "Congratulations, you've got a beautiful, healthy baby." When I was born, the doctor just went, "In theory, he should work." But when people find out I've got severe hearing loss, they always make the same jokes, right? They're like, "What? I can't hear you. Get it? You're deaf? I can't hear you." And they can tell it upsets me, man. And they're like, "Oh, come on, mate, we're just having a laugh, having a joke. No need to get offended." And I'm like, "Yeah, but in fairness, I didn't expect that from my local GP." when I first got checked out for cancer, I was living in Australia and I had to go for an ultrasound, right? And I went to this clinic over there and there's a lady behind the reception and she's what they call a bogan. It's like a really proud country bumpkin, right? Like bogans, they're not inbred, but if they were, they'd be really laid back about it, you know? Like, oh, Christmas is cheap when your dad and your granddad's the same fucking bloke.